Hello and welcome to Mod 13.3 Part 2 Problem Solving. So today we're going to be using our area formulas to solve real-world problems. And so we'll have to solve for a component in the area formula, but then we'll have to apply that information to something else. So just to kind of do a little bit of a recap, what we've done is we've taken a variety of area formulas, like maybe the area formula for a parallelogram, which is length times height. And then I said, hey, what if the area is 20 and the length is 5? What does the height have to be? And so we solved for that. Now we're going to continue that process and again, use this information to solve something else. And so what I want to stress here though is still the process that we need for all of this. And so a huge part of the process is draw it out. All right, try to get a visual image of what the shape looks like. And then you have to read critically. Make sure you know what it is you need to do. So then we'll solve for the unknown. And finally, step 4 here is to use your solution to answer whatever question has been asked of you. And so this is the new step right here. We're going to have to use the solution to answer a new question. Let's take a look at some examples and see what all this means. So in this example, John and Mary are using rolls of fabric to make rectangular stage curtains for their class play. The rectangular piece of fabric on each roll measures 2.5 by 15 feet. If the area of the curtain is 200 square feet, what is the least number of rolls they need? And so again, drawing it out is going to help out a lot. So we have a big curtain here. And we know that the area of the curtain is 200. Okay? And so what this curtain is made up, though, of is a bunch of rectangular parts of, or rolls of fabric. And how many there are, we don't know yet. But we know that each one of these is 2.5 by 15 feet. Okay? And so what we need to then do is figure out, well, what's the area of this thing? And once we know the area of that, we can then maybe figure out how many of these we're going to need to fill the whole thing. And so let's see here. We have a rectangle, and we are told this is 2.5. This is 15. So in this case, we just find the area, which is length times width. So 15 times 2.5, which gets us 37.5. We'll now take this information and we are going to divide it into 200. And that's going to tell us how many of these rectangular sheets or rolls of cloth we're going to need for the curtain. So 200 divided by 37.5. And given how complicated some of these numbers are, you guys can use calculators for this. Because when we crunch the numbers for this one, we end up getting 5.33 repeating. And so what we've done is step 3. We've solved for the unknown. All right. And we're kind of working on step 4 here. Working on step 4, which is to use your solution to answer the question. And so let's see, we need at least 5.3 of these, which means that we're going to really need 6 rolls, or else we won't have enough to complete the project. There will be a little bit left over, but so for being precise, 5 1/3. But go to a store, you can't say I need 5 1/3 of these. You have to buy 6 of them and have some leftovers. Let's look at another example. A parallelogram shaped field in a park needs sod. The parallelogram has a base of 21.5 meters and a height of 18 meters. The sod is sold in pallets of 50 square meters. How many pallets of sod are needed to fill the field? Okay, so same problem, different shape, different numbers. 21.5, 18. Okay, and so what we need to do is figure out, first of all, what is the area of this. So we'll go 21.5 times 18, and that gets us 387 meters squared. All right, well, when you buy a pallet of sod, which is just like a really big collection of these little sod patches, you can buy them, or each pallet has 50 square meters. And so we need to figure out how many of those we need. So again, we'll take 387, we'll divide that by 50, and that's going to tell us how many pallets we're going to need. And so specifically, we get 7.74. And so again, you can't go to Home Depot and say, I want 7 3/4 of one. Or maybe if you're kind of buying these in bulk, you have to buy a whole pallet, not a portion of it. So that means it's going to be 8 pallets. Cool. So hopefully you're starting to see how this all comes together. I have one final example. All right. This one's an additional example from the textbook here. I had to cross out the answers so that way we can find out together. Janet and Marjorie want to buy rolls of material to line rectangular drapes for their room. The rectangular piece of material on each roll measures 3 feet by 20 feet. If the total roll, or the total area of the drapes, is 150 square feet, how many rolls do they need? And so, hopefully we're picking up on this. We have a rectangle. It is 3 by 20. So its area is 3 times 20, which is equal to 60 feet squared. And what we have to do is take the 60 feet squared and divide it into 150. So, shouldn't do that there. Let me do it down here. 150 divided by 60 feet squared is going to get us 2.5. And so that means we need 2.5 rolls. And again, depending on the situation, you may not be able to buy 2.5 exactly. So that means we'll round it up to 3 rolls. And so, in a nutshell, that's what we are doing today. You have to do some problem solving. And so you have to use your knowledge of area formulas to calculate the area, to find a missing component, whatever it might be. And then there's going to be a follow-up question. And you have to use the solutions you have to find the answer to the question that's being asked. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, good luck.